Did Ryan Reynolds ditch Blake Lively at the premiere of Another Simple Favor to save his own career?
They will prepare for that in a million different ways. They will tell journalists what they can and cannot ask. Her PR firm will only walk her up to certain friendly journalists.
Stop everything you're doing because Hollywood is imploding. Chris Evans, Captain America himself, has just dropped a bombshell that's rocking the foundations of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and pointing a very accusatory finger directly at Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Yes, asterisk that asterisk, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the seemingly untouchable golden couple. Prepare to have your perception of Hollywood's most charming duo shattered, because whispers are turning into shouts, and allegations are flying faster than a speeding Quinjet. Are they really the masterminds behind a Marvel scam so audacious, so elaborate, it could not only dismantle their carefully constructed image, but send shockwaves throughout the entire entertainment industry?
Insiders are spilling on the real reason why Ryan Reynolds left Blake Lively alone on the red carpet amid the Anna Kendrick beef, and it's all about money.
You heard it right. Hollywood's golden couple, the epitome of red carpet glamour and witty social media banter, are now under a scorching spotlight, accused of orchestrating a Marvel scheme so outrageous it might just obliterate their squeaky clean image. And the source of this explosive revelation? None other than Captain America himself, Chris Evans. Behind the dazzling smiles and perfectly posed paparazzi shots, Blake Lively is being labeled the alleged mastermind, the puppet master of a devious plan lurking in the shadows of the MCU, a scheme so audacious it borders on unbelievable. Are we truly about to witness the unmasking of Hollywood's most beloved couple, revealing a calculated ambition hidden beneath layers of charm and charisma?
Several other actors attended premieres at South by without their spouses or significant others. I mean, one, why are you responding?
But what was the motive? Insiders are now spilling the tea, whispering about the real reason Ryan Reynolds mysteriously left Blake Lively to navigate the treacherous waters of the red carpet alone, amidst the simmering tension of the Anna Kendrick beef. And the answer, as it so often does in Hollywood, boils down to one thing: money. Why did she allegedly do it? All to seize the Marvel spotlight for herself, to catapult herself into the stratosphere of superhero stardom, to bask in the lucrative glow of Marvel fame and fortune. Her alleged motive? Pure, unadulterated greed for Marvel dominance. This explosive expose has it all. Secret deals, leaked messages, betrayals worthy of a Shakespearean tragedy, and we're just scratching
Blake attended
the
with her
surface.
cast and filmmakers and had a great time. Several other actors attended premieres at South by without their spouses or significant others.
Did America's sweetheart, the actress once synonymous with effortless grace and relatable charm, really con the MCU? Did she allegedly manipulate the system, pull strings from the shadows, and even drag her own husband, Ryan Reynolds, into this elaborate scheme? Or is there, as always in Hollywood, an even bigger, more shocking twist waiting in the wings? A hidden layer of truth that will redefine everything we thought we knew about Blake Lively and her carefully constructed empire. Several other actors attended premieres at South by Southwest without their spouses or significant others. Her PR team lamely countered, attempting to deflect the growing scrutiny. I mean, one, why are you responding? Critics scoffed, highlighting the defensiveness and thinly veiled panic emanating from Lively's camp.
You're clearly unnerved. You didn't even need to respond. It's like, I wasn't that surprised that Ryan wasn't there. It wasn't his movie.
Grab your popcorn because these receipts are about to shake Hollywood to its very core. Trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of this unfolding drama, because the carefully crafted facade of Blake Lively is cracking, revealing a potentially shocking reality beneath the surface. Blake Lively arrived at what should have been a defining moment in her career, a meticulously planned return to the red carpet, meant to silence her increasingly vocal critics and remind the world of her undeniable star power. Instead, it became one of the most humiliating nights of her life, a public spectacle that laid bare the industry's shifting sentiment and the fragility of her once untouchable image.
It was weird that Ryan was there and it ends with us. If he shows up to every one of her movies that has nothing to do with, I think it would be worse reaction. I do.
Blake attended the premiere with her cast and filmmakers. her PR team dutifully reporting she had a great time, a hollow pronouncement that rang increasingly false against the backdrop of mounting evidence. Several other actors attended premieres at South by Southwest without their spouses or significant others. Her team reiterated, desperately attempting to normalize Ryan Reynolds' conspicuous absence, a deflection that only served to amplify the underlying unease. She walked into the Another Simple Favor premiere, expecting adoration, expecting the cameras to adore her the way they always had, expecting the industry to embrace her as if nothing, absolutely nothing, had changed.
So I can't fault him for not showing up. The fact that he's responding is interesting. It shows they're paying attention and they're unnerved. I stand by my report, and be prepared. Don't be mad at the messenger that I told you Anna Kendrick's not very nice either.
But everything asterisk had asterisk changed. The energy was palpably off from the start. The photographers still dutifully snapped their pictures, their flashes momentarily blinding. But the genuine enthusiasm, the fervent adoration was undeniably gone. You're clearly, unnerved, one commentator observed, dissecting Lively's forced smiles and strained composure. You didn't even need to respond, they noted, highlighting the defensive posture and the palpable sense of panic emanating from Lively's carefully orchestrated public appearance. I wasn't that surprised that Ryan wasn't there. It wasn't his movie, she stammered, her carefully rehearsed lines sounding thin and unconvincing against the weight of unspoken tension.
Blake Lively's done awful things to Justin and needs to pay the price in court. We'll find it out. But what I'm trying to warn you is, apparently Anna's no angel either. I'm telling you, it's more than just a little, oh, she's annoying.
The smiles she received from industry peers were tight, polite, but devoid of warmth. The interactions felt stilted, forced. The usual Hollywood pleasantries replaced by a palpable distance, a carefully maintained professional detachment. And the entire atmosphere carried a weight that even Blake, with her years of meticulous media training, could not ignore. A subtle but unmistakable shift in the Hollywood wind. And then, as if the already suffocating atmosphere wasn't enough, there it was, the protester, standing defiantly outside the event, holding aloft a sign that read in stark, unmissable letters, "Justice for Justin Baldoni. Blake lied."
Get your ego in check. All you actors, get your egos in check. And yeah, I'm gonna call out actors who have way too big of an ego.
It was weird that Ryan was there, and it ends with us if he shows up to every one of our movies that has nothing to do with, "I think it would be worse reaction, I do," she offered lamely, her attempts at deflection sounding increasingly desperate and unconvincing. This was not a casual heckler, not a disgruntled fan easily dismissed. This was something far worse, a direct, targeted attack on her credibility, a public manifestation of the simmering resentment that had been brewing for months, now spilling out into the unforgiving glare of the public spotlight. Hollywood, a town built on illusion and carefully constructed narratives, was starting to crack, and no amount of charm, no matter how well placed, no amount of practiced smiles, no matter how perfectly polished, could erase the stark, undeniable truth written in bold letters outside that premiere.
My guess is she's not going to bring him because he's almost more disliked than she is, and that her promo game is just to pretend that she's really scared of the public now, when she was the person who initially wanted all of this to be publicized because she was so confident in her power and her husband's power.
For months, Blake had worked tirelessly, relentlessly, to pretend that the swirling chaos surrounding her wasn't real, that the mounting scandals were mere temporary inconveniences, easily brushed aside with a well-crafted PR strategy. "So I can't fault him for not showing up," she continued, her voice strained, her composure visibly fraying at the edges. "The fact that he's responding is interesting. It shows they're paying attention, and they're unnerved," commentators observed, dissecting her every word, every gesture, every carefully calculated deflection. The legal drama, the escalating PR nightmare, the persistent rumors of a shattered relationship with Ryan Reynolds, the devastating fallout from her increasingly public feud with Justin Baldoni, she had pushed forward relentlessly, as if simply keeping up appearances, maintaining the illusion of normalcy, was enough to undo the mounting damage.
Blake Lively apparently fought for top billing in this film. And these are things that we don't even consider as the public, but even when you see a movie poster, that's a fight between people of who's going to be on the movie poster, who's going to be presented as the star of this film.
She seemed convinced, in the face of overwhelming evidence to the contrary, that Hollywood would play along, that the industry, ever pragmatic and image-obsessed, would once again fall in line, allowing her to dictate the narrative, to rewrite the reality to suit her carefully constructed persona. But Hollywood, the fickle mistress of fame and fortune, had stopped listening. The industry, sensing a shift in the public mood, a growing tide of discontent, had definitively turned on her. "I stand by my report and be prepared," one commentator declared, their tone ominous, their words carrying the weight of insider knowledge. "Don't be mad at the messenger that I told you Anna Kendrick's not very nice either," they added, hinting at further revelations, further cracks in the carefully constructed facade of Hollywood congeniality.
And now that we know that Blake Lively is quite aggressive in general during these movie negotiations, it was revealed that she was similarly aggressive about The Simple Favor 2, and she wanted to be featured prominently.
The media, once eager partners in crafting her flawless image, were no longer spinning stories in her favor, their headlines shifting from fawning praise to critical dissection, their lenses now focused on the cracks in her carefully constructed persona. And worst of all, the people she had once called colleagues, friends, and staunch supporters were making it abundantly, painfully clear that they no longer wanted to be associated with her, that her once golden brand had become irrevocably toxic. The final, devastating blow, the moment that crystallized the industry's collective rejection, came when Anna Kendrick, her co-star and longtime industry peer, was asked the seemingly innocuous question, what was it like to work with Blake Lively again?
They will prepare for that a million different ways. They will tell journalists what they can and cannot ask. Her PR firm will only walk her up to certain friendly journalists.
"Blake Lively's done awful things to Justin and needs to pay the price in court," one commentator declared, summarizing the prevailing industry sentiment. "We'll find it out, but what I'm trying to warn you is apparently Anna's no angel either," they added, hinting at further layers of Hollywood intrigue, further complexities beneath the surface of seemingly simple narratives. It was the kind of softball question that Hollywood actors typically answer with an automatic, practiced smile and a rehearsed, utterly generic response, even when the truth is far, far from pleasant. But Kendrick didn't even pretend asterisk. 4 words. 4 words that landed heavier, more devastatingly than any public scandal, any tabloid expose, any damning headline.
So this apprehension is kind of, like I said, just trying to make people feel bad. And I think it's kind of perfect karma that now there's this apparent friction between her and Anna Kendrick, real friction with her co-star.
"Oh, you know," was all she offered, her tone flat, dismissive, utterly devoid of warmth. No smile, no attempt at civility, no rehearsed pleasantries. "I'm telling you, it's more than just a little, 'Oh, she's annoying.'" Commentators dissected Kendrick's curt response, recognizing the subtle but unmistakable venom beneath the surface indifference. The disinterest in Kendrick's voice, the complete lack of effort to maintain even the barest illusion of professional camaraderie, said everything. Anna Kendrick did not want to be asked about Blake Lively. She did not want to be seen publicly defending her. She did not want to be forced into yet another fake Hollywood friendship for the sake of press tours and fleeting box office numbers.
She wanted Blake Lively to address her ongoing battle with Baldoni.
And Kendrick, it turned out, was far from the only one making her feelings known, subtly, yet unmistakably, distancing herself from the increasingly toxic Blake Lively brand. "Get your ego in check, all you actors. Get your egos in check," one commentator declared, echoing a growing industry sentiment of weariness and disillusionment. "And yeah, I'm going to call out actors who have way too big of an ego," they continued, hinting at a broader industry reckoning, a collective pushback against perceived Hollywood arrogance and entitlement. Henry Golding, another one of Blake's co-stars, was asked how it felt to reunite with the cast. The commentary continued, highlighting another instance of thinly veiled disdain. His response, dripping in sarcasm, was a single loaded sentence. "What could go wrong?
There obviously now is this big elephant that's in the room that no one wants to acknowledge, and they're going to walk this red carpet and not acknowledge it unless, of course, Ryan Reynolds walks the red carpet with her.
That smirk, that barely concealed jab, that single dismissive phrase, it was all the confirmation the public, and more importantly, Hollywood needed. Blake Lively wasn't just struggling to maintain her carefully constructed image. She was actively, visibly, losing the respect of the very people she desperately needed to stand by her, to vouch for her, to maintain the crumbling illusion of her Hollywood reign. The industry had grown tired of her, one commentator concluded, their assessment stark, unforgiving, and increasingly undeniable. My guess is she's not going to bring him because he's almost more disliked than she is, another observed, dissecting the Reynolds-Lively dynamic with cynical precision. And that her promo game is just to pretend that she's really scared of the public now, when she was the person who initially wanted all of this to be publicized because she was so confident in her power and her husband's power.
So she's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud.
Hollywood's most successful stars, the true titans of the industry, maintained their power not through individual brilliance alone, but through relationships, through carefully cultivated alliances, through meticulously constructed networks of mutual benefit and reciprocal loyalty. But Blake Lively's reputation, once a shimmering asset, had become irrevocably toxic, and those carefully constructed alliances, those once unbreakable networks, were dissolving with alarming speed. The fashion world, which had once adored her, was now keeping its distance, one report noted, highlighting the swift and decisive shift in industry sentiment. Blake Lively apparently fought for top billing in this film, another commentator revealed, pulling back the curtain on the often petty power struggles beneath the surface glamour of Hollywood.
Ryan, have you been doing all these ads live during our podcast?
Yes, of course, anything for Strikeforce 5.
And these are things that we don't even consider as the public, they continued, exposing the often unseen machinations of fame and fortune. But even when you see a movie poster, that's a fight between people of who's going to be on the movie poster, who's going to be presented as the star of this film. The luxury brands that once clamored to make her the face of their campaigns, trusting that her mere presence elevated their image, were now quietly, discreetly, cutting ties, severing connections, distancing themselves from the increasingly radioactive Lively brand. Hollywood agents, ever attuned to the shifting winds of public opinion and industry sentiment, were advising studios against casting her, whispering in hushed tones that she was, simply put, a financial risk, a liability no longer worth the potential reward.
Why is she wrong? We could all see it with our own eyes, what was happening on that red carpet and inside the premiere.
Producers, the gatekeepers of Hollywood opportunity, were watching the escalating tension surrounding her, observing the mounting controversies, and choosing, decisively, not to involve themselves, opting for safer, less volatile, and ultimately, less problematic options. And even at South by Southwest, the carefully chosen venue where she had desperately attempted to regain some semblance of normalcy, to project an image of untroubled star power, the cracks in the facade were impossible to ignore. The carefully constructed illusion of effortless grace shattering before the unforgiving gaze of the industry and the public alike. And now that we know that Blake Lively is quite aggressive in general during these movie negotiations, one commentator observed, drawing a direct line between the current controversies and long-whispered industry rumors. It was revealed that she was similarly aggressive about a simple favor too, and she wanted to be featured prominently.
There has always been this weird tension between Anna and Blake, always. There's interviews which they have done where it's just so uncomfortable.
She waved to fans, signed autographs with practiced flourish, flashed the same perfectly polished, dazzling smile she always had, the smile that had graced countless magazine covers and captivated millions worldwide. But no one, it seemed, was fooled anymore. Blake Lively was not in control anymore. She had built her entire career, her entire carefully constructed empire, on the illusion of effortless grace, on being the cool, composed, untouchable leading lady, the embodiment of Hollywood perfection. But illusions, as all seasoned Hollywood players know, only work when people are willing, even eager, to believe in them. And now, facing the cold, hard reality of a shifting industry sentiment, no one, it seemed, believed in Blake Lively anymore. There, they will prepare for that a million different ways, one commentator noted, dissecting the elaborate PR machinery behind Hollywood appearances. They will tell journalists what they can and cannot ask. Her PR firm will only walk her up to certain friendly journalists. The premiere of Another Simple Favor, intended as a triumphant moment, a strategically orchestrated comeback, was not just a disappointment. It was something far more devastating. A public confirmation that the industry, the very heart of Hollywood, was washing its hands of her. This wasn't just a temporary setback, a minor controversy easily smoothed over with a well-placed interview or a strategically planned public appearance. This, the premiere laid bare in stark, undeniable terms, was the end of something significant, the closing of a chapter, the definitive fading of a once bright star. So this apprehension is kind of, like I said, just trying to make people feel bad, one commentator observed, dissecting the manufactured sympathy narrative surrounding Lively. And I think it's kind of perfect karma that now there's this apparent friction between her and Anna Kendrick, like friction with asterisk, real asterisk friction with her co-star.